You started
down now again?
Yeah, I'll tell you about it in a little bit.
Okay. 3, 2, 1.
And we're here, episode 206, with these ladies and gentlemen here. Can you please introduce yourself and let us know a little bit about you and who you are?
Okay. My name is Jeno Flores. This is my wife, Destiny Flores, and we're friends. You know, y'all come to our gym and y'all do our kickboxing class and stuff like that. And we're life insurance agents, and we're here to just talk about whatever y'all want to talk about.
Well, I know what I want to talk about right now. You don't do kickboxing right now.
Right.
Well, let's talk about that. Let's get it. Let's talk about that one.
You introduce the rest of the cast, or?
No, you already introduced me.
Well, let's go. Let's step back a little bit. You guys own you guys own a gym. Tell me a little about the gym.
Okay, so the gym is Geno's gym. Destiny is the main trainer. I do a few classes here and there, which is a class we met. It was a kickboxing class I did once a week. The reason I don't do it anymore is because we started this life insurance company, and Wednesday nights is when we have a lot of our meetings and everything. So I had to step back from it because I got my 9-to-5 job working where I work right now until something else takes off. So I love teaching. It's just on Wednesday nights is window time. She has off where we can actually do our trainings and also do client meetings and everything's up for the life insurance and stuff like that. So as hard as it was to cancel that class, I had to cancel it, which I know now I can see y'all are upset with me because I canceled it.
I was just
I'm upset.
Roy.
I can tell Roy, but I mean that's good. It means
either way.
Well, Geno's gym is an all girls gym for the most part.
For the most part, yes, sir.
So when you were doing it, it was co-ed. It was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Well, let me touch base on that because it did used to be guys and girls.
Yeah, so let's go back. How did this start? Because this is from the backyard.
Yes, from the backyard. Okay, so I'll start from that. So from the backyard, I was going to college. I started doing Zumba.
How long have y'all have been together? Forever?
Going on 21 years.
Okay.
Together.
Yeah.
Married, going 15 years. Right. So, so we've been together forever. So I started doing Zumba, doing all that stuff. And then I started doing boot camps in the backyard with my best friend.
And what inspired that? Or what made you even want to just do that?
Honestly, I was teaching Zumba to other gyms.
Mm-hmm. So you've always been into fitness?
I've always been in fitness. Let me step back.
Mm-hmm.
So what got me into that, Jeno was a manager at a gym called Flex Fitness. Okay. Mm-hmm. And he was there. Well, the kickboxing instructor did not show up one day. And so I was already taking those classes, but I was just a student, I was just taking just going. Well, he was kind of freaking out and he was like, "Can you come teach this class?" And I was like, "I have no idea how to teach a kickboxing class," but I felt, okay, I'm going to do it. I'll go in there, but I was freaking out. I bombed it. I didn't know what the heck I was doing. Jeno had to go in there and kind of take over and help me out. But I swore after that class, I was going to learn what I was doing and I was going to go back and do it 10 times better because that just motivated me. I don't like to be put in a situation where I don't know what I'm doing, but that to me showed me how much he believed in me and what he saw in me as a person. Yeah. And I guess as an instructor, which I didn't really know that I had, I've always been a motivator and I yell and do stuff like that. And I think that's what he saw to call me on and hey, I need you to come teach this class. Yeah. I was I've never taught a class in my life, but it was kind of one of those emergency things. So anyways, I taught Zumba. I did stuff there at that gym. Okay. I was going to different gyms. I was at the Falls. I was at Bodyworks, at other gyms. Right. And I loved it. I loved because I met different people. I networked with different people, which has really paid off now because I follow a lot of people versus they follow me too. So it's been a great blessing. But as far as me doing it in the backyard, I remember one day I was doing laundry. I think I was just completely broken because I had the 2 kids. I was going to college. I was trying to teach classes and it was a lot. And I remember breaking down, falling to my knees. We were doing another network business called Advocare at the time. And I broke down and dropped to my knees, remembering, crying, telling him, I can't do this. It's too much. It was so much for me that I just had to give up something. And it was school, because I mean, I was going to school forever. Like I love school. Honestly, just one of those school people. I just love to go to school. But I was going to school and there was nothing really coming out of it. It was taking forever for me to finish. And he was like, I totally back you up on what you're doing. Let's just move forward with the network business that we were with in the gym. So it was a supplement business that I was in.
Can you move that mic closer to you, please? There you go.
So
and babe, just to jump in, you got to remember too, you're doing all that. Plus you're doing Mary Kay, Sensi, and the advocate business at that time. And that's what kind of, in addition, we'll take care of the house, the kids, school, all that. You're just spreading yourself too thin. That's why I came in as like, okay, we need to back up on something and pick something that we can focus on, because we're going in too many different directions.
And I think with me having the kids, I never wanted to get an 8 to 5. I wanted to be able to do something where I could be home with the kids all the time. And so I always looked for stuff that I could do from home. And so the backyard thing was just something we started up. I mean, it started with 13 girls and it just progressed.
Jesus.
13.
That's a really big group though for like a backyard.
For the first time.
I had a the Zumba following.
Were you part of that?
No.
Oh, no.
No.
This was like how long ago?
2007. Yeah, it was in 2007.
Oh, you were like 20?
Fuck you. We have a 3-year age difference.
Oh, okay.
And he is always so mean to me.
Oh my gosh.
Who's older?
I'm 28.
She's 5 years older than me.
Oh my god.
I'm
25?
28.
Yeah.
25.
Oh my God.
We're 7 years right here.
I'm 45. She's 38.
Yeah. But that's a different story. But yeah. So anyway, that's where it started. But the gym has been a big part of our life. Right now, inflation, is that what it's called? Inflation?
What are you talking
Like
about?
high prices?
I don't know. Yeah, whatever's going on right now. That has really don't put this in the podcast.
No, that's clip it.
But whatever's hitting right now, the recession, all that, I think is finally hitting the gym. I've never had issues with the gym. Even after COVID, the gym was spread eagle. I mean, I had 100 people the year.
I think my 2-year is this next week.
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's so good.
I joined like right when like the world was kind of starting to creep outside again.
Yes. It was good. I mean, it was so neat that I still had business during COVID, even doing virtual. The Geno's Gym girls have always been so supportive. I mean, man, I have so many stories, but I just know that during COVID, they really backed me up and they stayed with me and they paid the virtual fee. I mean, it wasn't the same as going into the gym, but I was still going to give it my all and give him everything I did. And I had to show up, and I was in the best shape of my life too. I was like, I had to work out. It was a constant workout too. So Geno's Gym has always been a big part of my life. It's my heart. It's my home. It's my first love. And like I said, we've moved to different locations. This is the longest I've been at one. It's going on 6 years. I've had girls that have been with me at each location. And
is there one that's like stuck with you like the longest?
This one.
No, like, is there like a member that has like stuck with you the longest?
Amanda has stuck with me the longest. She's been with me in the backyard, the furniture store. Man, there's a couple of them. There is a couple of them. That's the one I can think of right off the bat. Yeah.
Shout out you.
I know. Yeah, she's always been really, really supportive with everything I did. But yeah, and so it's been good. And with him, he's always supported me. He's 100%. Whatever I want to do, I was there. If I wanted to move locations, he was there. Painting, putting up bags, fixing the bags, putting the tires. I mean, everything. And I wouldn't have Geno's Gym without him because he's the backbone. Like he helps everything. I mean, his name on it. But I mean, pobrecito, he'll come home and then he'll go fix something if I need it fixed. I could call someone to fix it, but I mean, he's more the type that he wants to do it himself than us calling anyone first. He wants to try to do it. So yeah.
So you were saying that it was initially men and women there?
Okay, so the reason with that, it was men and women. He taught a big men's class, and I would have him teach some of my women.
And were they on like at 5 a.m.? Like
no, it was the afternoon. He would teach.
Okay,
so
I'm not a morning person at all.
I had found out that some of the girls' husbands were not letting them go work out because they were insecure that Jeno was teaching the class.
Oh,
So it was like 2 or 3. So that's when I was like, well, I don't want to lose business because he's teaching. But on the other end, he loves teaching, you know? So I brought it across his attention and we're like, okay, well, let's step back and let's do it all girls and see how that works, which it worked great. But now that I look back at it, I was like, man, I should have just did it and let those husbands.
Yeah, just kind of been like, if you're insecure, fuck you.
I know. I was like, get over it.
Get out of here.
I mean, Geno's such a good trainer. He's a good worker. And if he jokes around with you and makes fun of you, and you know he likes you. If he's quiet around you, then he don't like you. That's his thing. I can tell when he don't like someone. But he's a jokester. He can talk.
But also it's like that's kind of the point of going to like a small local gym like this. Is just like, I mean, if you're wanting to work out and not fucking talk to anybody, that's why you go to Planet. That's why you go to Bodyworks or whatever.
Yes.
You're going to Geno's for community. You're going to these boot camps for community.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's just like, yeah, no, you do want people to be tight. You do want people to be cool with each other. You know?
Exactly.
I don't know.
It becomes like a family.
It is.
Yeah, I mean, like in the mornings we're always joking or
No, you broke
like,
up our family.
It's upset.
It's my chance to take some shots.
My kicks were almost strong.
Yeah.
No, we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna bring it back soon because
I'll bring him to the 5:30 with
Yeah, there's other people.
No, I'm with you. I don't wake up early. Fuck that.
No,
Yeah.
5:30 p.m.
I love my sleep. Oh my God.
I really am thinking about just bringing him back to co-ed, and because I know a lot of girls love just the all-girl community, but honestly, it's like I like the men coming to our class because it's different. It hits cardio. A lot of men focus on weights, and they don't get that cardio in. And so when they come to our class, it's like they're out of breath and everything because
I have this thought sometimes when like I'm like wanting to quit or whatever, not quit, but like when I'm like dying in class, I'm like, Roy couldn't do this. And like I don't even mean that in a disrespectful way, but I'm like, I would love to see him do Tabata. I would love to see him do 8 rounds of Tabata.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes, I know.
and so like I have that thought and I'm like, oh, I'm gonna fuck you.
Well, good. You have to bring him. Yeah. No, I've had girls that wanted to bring their husbands and I'm like, I'm all for it. And I think I just worry about other people not being for it, or they get like where they can't be uncomfortable. And I think I'm Miss Nice person. I try to please everyone, but at the same time, like I miss the co-ed community of our gym.
Oh yeah. And I mean, that's the thing too. It's just, it's community. You know what I mean? It's like, come on.
Yes.
You know, I don't know.
So choosing the direction of the gym was because that was the one you chose of all the things you were doing. You were like, we're going to focus on the gym. That was the option.
Yes. Yes.
Well, what I said is we were shooting all these things and nothing was really doing where like Mary Kay and Sensei and all this stuff, I can really help her with that because I don't know nothing about it. I can't sell makeup. I don't use makeup. But the supplement company, I can take these supplements. I can be a kind of a product of the product. And also it goes hand in hand with gym. So we have those two things go together. So I said, you know, if you focus on this, we can both do it together and we can be a team. Where Mary Kay, I can't do anything with it because I don't do makeup or anything like that. So we went in that direction and that took off once people saw. And the thing is, people will see where you're at and where you're going and see what they want, if they want to join you as far as your success goes. So she did it for 4 years by herself. And I was at the time, I was her biggest critic, which is a backstory to that as well. But once I got kind of stick out of my ass and said, you know what, let me help her out. Let me help our family out. It took off from there. The supplement company and the gym, which went hand in hand. And so from that point, I mean, I was working at, was it a car? A car dealership, right? And she goes, hey, when you'll be ready, she put a check on the table. I'm just made your income 3 times over right there with this check. Whenever you're ready to come home, let's come home. And I was retired for about, 6-7 years, working from home, taking care of the kids and stuff until we hit another, skid, which was, right around the pandemic time and everything. So went back to work. But us working together has always been our go-to, because with us, we've been married for 15 years together for 20 or so odd years. I've seen just where the only way we can get anything ahead of anything is that by working together, being partners, being each other's backbones and best friends and all that, because if I'm dogging her and not supporting her, well, then we're going to go in separate directions and that's where we're going to get divorced. We're going to get you know, our kids gonna grow up in separate houses or whatever.
Yeah.
And we don't know. I mean, we don't want to do that. I mean, I don't. This is my wife. This is my family. This is my responsibility, my priority.
Mm-hmm.
So might as well work together.
And I've been very blessed having somebody that supports me. I mean,
Yes,
being
you
in the
have.
business that we're in, I have ran into so many people where their husbands or boyfriends don't support them.
Mhm.
And it's insane to me because I'm like, if you would just step up and do it with them, their success could triple
Yeah.
what they're doing now, you know? And he's always been a big supporter. If there was something that he wasn't too fond of, he would tell me.
Mhm.
And I'm one of those. I gotta ask my husband. I gotta ask my husband. I gotta ask my husband. Not that I'm asking his permission, but I ask him out of respect,
Mhm.
you know? And that's my thing is with him. And even with the kids, it's like, we take turns. Like we do a lot of stuff. We're very busy people,
Mhm.
but if I'm busy, he's with the kids. If he's busy, I'm with the kids.
Mhm.
I don't like it to where we're constantly busy, both of us, and our kids are not around.
Mhm.
And to me, that drives me insane because I just need one of us with them. I don't want to,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? It's
Yeah.
hard to say too much without making it sound like it's bad for other people. Because I know other people,
no.
they can't help it. But if we can help it, I would like to help it, you know?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, we can't speak for anybody else and how they raise their kids or family, but I know what works for us and what doesn't.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I mean, this is, you know, when we got married, it's like, okay, this is a commitment. And she said in the vows forever. I was like, all right, I got to start to work today. So that's always stuck with me. She said forever. So that means her and the kids are my number one, no matter what. So, I mean, it's not where I can go out drinking with my friends or I can go, you know, to the club or something. Let me go have a guys' night out. That's not really in my wheelhouse. I'm good. If the kids are not eating, if they're not spending time, or they're not getting the attention they need from me, that's my responsibility. So that's how I see it.
And sometimes I have to push them out. I'm like, go hang out with the guys, go have a beer, go do something.
Go teach kickboxing.
Yeah, go teach kickboxing. Because Pobrecito, he goes to work and comes home and that's it. And we go out together sometimes on the weekends, but I need him to go. I need him to just get out there and just relax, you know, without me, without the kids, just have his time to himself and just relax. So I'm okay with that. Like I am okay with him doing that. But again, I understand what he's saying because when I get invited to brunches and stuff, I mean, I don't mind day drinking, but sometimes I'm like, I got to get home to my kids. I can't be.
You're like, I'm not going to say no.
I'm not going to say no, but I can't be getting twisted.
So like, what do y'all do like in y'all's own time, like separately? That's like y'all's thing. Do y'all have like something that y'all just, you single-handedly like focus on or that you like de-stress on or like you two?
But like together or by ourselves?
By yourselves. Do y'all do anything? Like
I run. I used to run. I haven't run in a while.
Mhm.
But that's me. I like to just go run and clear my thoughts. I'll run in the treadmill. I'll run outside. I mean, lately, he doesn't really care for me to run outside anymore with everything that's going on.
yeah. Did you hear about
But-
that runner that was killed?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
Yeah.
And he doesn't, I used to go run early in the mornings and he's not fond of me doing that.
I've been kind of
Get you a scary dog.
apprehensive ever since I heard
Yes.
about that girl getting killed.
And I think with us doing it at the gym, with us running together.
that's different though.
Yeah.
It's a group of people.
I'm going to clip
It's a
this
group.
part out.
When I leave at 4:30 in the morning, there's a girl that runs on my block, 3 dogs with her. Because I'm like, how does she do that?
Yeah.
I have to wake him up just for him to come watch me walk outside. But she's out there running with 3 dogs. But I was like, you know, I guess she feels safe because it's
Yeah, I
the
think-
dogs.
I think it's a deterrent.
Alert you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, you just let that thing go and you run.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You know,
for
you
sure.
do what you got to do.
That's what the dog's there for, to be
Yeah.
companionship and protection. I mean,
Yeah.
I say get a gun, but you know, there's other things.
No, that's what
you
Gino. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
We've talked about that.
I talked to a lady tonight that teaches how to shoot guns and everything, and she's very knowledgeable. And that's the thing; it's not being a scaredy cat; it's being gun safety awareness. You know what I mean? Knowing how to handle a gun, knowing what's the best gun for you, and all these things.
That shit's terrifying, shooting a gun.
It is. It's terrifying
No.
having guns in the house with
Yeah.
kids in the house.
Oh yeah, y'all
That's
have
what
little
makes me
ones.
nervous.
Y'all have little
That's why
ones.
we never got one because I'm like, I'm scared that we're going to be one of those that the gun accidentally goes off or something. You know?
And we have one. It's a rifle, but the thing is, it's put up somewhere. It's not easily accessible. You know, but if somebody comes in, it's like, okay, I mean,
like, what are you gonna do? Load your rifle, polish it, and shit. Yeah, no.
But there's no bullets in it.
I mean, I know
you guys are giving too much away. People listening. You don't want to let people know, your secrets.
I know.
No,
I struggle with that. I'm like, fuck, people could be listening.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, then you can't just be totally honest about what's going on with it, because people are like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go, you know.
But I feel safe because my husband, I'm like, shit, let them try. Let them try. Like I'm real fast to call Jeno, like Jeno, and I don't know if he want to cut this out or not, but Jeno can literally murder someone with his 2 hands. He knows how to.
I believe it.
I mean, he can. He taught me how. You know what I mean? I mean, I got to be careful with what I say and what I do, but he knows exactly how to do it.
Well, don't say that.
No, it's all right.
We're going on the episode of Dateline over here.
Let me steer this conversation another place. Do you think people are drawn to y'all's gym because, for whatever reason, they don't like the bigger gyms, like what the fuck, True Fit or whatever the hell? Mm-hmm. That's why they kind of come to y'all. You think?
I think so. I used to be a big gym person. I used to love it, but
Planet
nowadays
Fitness,
I like just the gym, because I would like to go with no makeup on, just go work out, not to focus on talking to everyone I see. I just want to go and work out because I'm short on time. I got the kids, and if I don't have the kids, I got to work out, do laundry, clean the house, make dinner, do everything within 6 hours before they get out of school. So if I'm going to go work out, I need to go work out and be done. I can't do everything else while working out. So that's why I like having the gym to where I can just go work out and do that. Now, granted, the bigger gyms do have a lot more than what we have. I do want to get there at that point to where we do have the bigger machines and stuff like that. But right now, I got to just kind of do with what we got.
Yeah.
Hey, that's what we're doing here.
I chose Geno's. It was so during like COVID and shit like that, like when we were like shut down, I started taking like lots of walks.
Yeah.
So that was like my like introduction to cardio. I was just taking walks. I was just walking because, God, I was so tired of being stuck in that house.
Yeah.
You know, and then I had to go back to work. And so those walks turned into like morning walks and like jogs.
Yeah.
And then, oh shit, I got to go work earlier. So then I got to haul ass. So then I started running like 2 miles 5 days a week, and then started dropping a lot of weight. So I was like, oh, fuck, I need to tone. And then Bree had been telling me, Bree and Amy, kind of Geno's. And I'm like, no, I'm not ready. Like I was so apprehensive because my only experience with gyms and like boot camps, like gyms, because it's like you literally you check in, put your shit up, and go straight to a machine, and you do your own thing.
Yes.
Unless you're like with somebody, and so it's just like, man. But also I see like videos of people like being like just ripped apart and like roasted for like not knowing how to use a machine right, or like not doing like reps correctly.
Yeah,
and
those
like
kind of funny though.
Yeah, it is. But as somebody wanting to put in the work to get better.
I would never talk shit.
But let me
they're there.
Let me tell you this.
But they're there.
Yeah, they're there. I get it.
But that's happened to me because I was a Zumba instructor at Flex. I did have a trainer. I went to go do his class, but he put me on the spot when I was doing his class.
Yeah.
Like, come on.
And I've also been to boot camps where they're ugly.
He was ugly to me. He was really ugly to me. And some people like to be motivated like that. Yeah. I don't. I get pissed. I'm not like that.
It's just discouraging.
It is
just kind of like, damn, I'm doing the best I can.
And,
you know, I'm not a competitive person.
Yeah.
You know, I like to just, me and him are the same way. We like to go at our own pace. We don't like being told what to do. We just, that's just us. And I'm like that with our gym people. Like, you guys do you. I'm not going to embarrass you.
And like, that's the thing too, like kind of why I chose it. But it's like, that's kind of why I stayed away from gyms, and I didn't really know how to start. And so finally, Bree was just annoying the shit out of me with it. And I was like, fine, I'll fucking go. Yeah. I go. Good. My first day was BLT.
Yeah.
My first day was BLT, and I wanted to die.
Yeah.
But it was cool because it's like, it was like full of women, all different ages, all different sizes.
Yeah.
Some were like insane workout maniacs, and others were just like, hey dude, I'm just trying to get my steps in for the day.
Yes.
You know, like, and you would always start the class with, do what you can, just go at your own pace.
Yeah.
Don't overdo it. Don't hurt yourself. You know, and that's the thing too. And it, like your way of like motivating, it's never like, why the fuck did y'all show up? It's always, hey, y'all woke up for this, then put the effort in, you know? And so, and that's like, to me that's motivating, but also like kind of being in a little environment like that, it's nice.
Yeah.
And it's like I learned how to have form, I learned how to lift weights, I learned how to like do like supersets and like stuff like that. So it's like now it's like if I miss a morning at the gym, which you know, I go to 5:30, so but it's like if I miss, it's just like I know I can go to a gym and like
you do what you do. And that's
what I can do at the gym.
That's
you
what
know?
we try to do. We try to teach people.
Yeah, you know, because it's just like I can't always depend on like just that 5 a.m. You know, to get me through it. So it's just like I gotta put my own work in. But what can I do? I can do what I saw Monday or whatever.
Yeah, and that's why sometimes when I teach classes, I tell them, okay, this is the group you're working out, and this is why you need to do this muscle and the supersets. You're gonna do this muscle. This, and a lot of what I learned is through him too, and because he's always taught me. I mean, of course, when I got certified, but I'm a hands-on person. And so when I worked out with him, he's always taught me. And so when we first started dating, was it Bodywork? Gold's Gym was around at the time. And he would go work out and I would see his car in the parking lot. We were just dating. I think I just had a crush on him at the time, but I would go run.
The stalker.
I would go run on the treadmill, act like I'm working out, but I was really like trying to run into him. So the gym is been
there you go, ladies. That's how you do it.
Yeah. I love that though. It's just kind of y'all found that common ground.
Yes.
Really like grew something out of it, and it's still like y'all's common ground.
Oh,
you know?
It is.
That's really cool.
Now my daughter, I mean,
she's really getting into it. She's a little beast.
She's with him now. She goes. I used to work out with him at night. It's been years since I've done that, but now she goes and works out with him, and she gets so pissed when he's tired or he has something coming up, and she's so mad because she wants to go work out. You know,
I got in trouble like 3 times this week because we didn't go to the gym because we had appointments and I had to do this. I had to go to a dinner, an office dinner meeting last night, and I promised her, hey, we'll go to the gym on Thursday. I got in trouble last night. So I mean, but that gives me an ounce of pride because I know she loves to go work out. I know she's going to spend that time with me. So that's like when you were asking earlier, what do we do for fun? I take myself and my kids to the gym.
Yeah.
You know?
And I run, so it's working out.
At first, it was my son, and he got into it. He goes work out by himself now because he's older now. I was like, oh, I got it. But I put that into him. So one, they have a foundation for that. I mean, I put them in self-defense. I put them in karate. I was a junior instructor with them over there. My daughter, she's in wrestling now, but she wants to be more fit. She wants to be stronger. It's just their goals, but I can actually assist them with it, you know, in that.
It's something that you can bond with your kids, you know, whether they stick with whatever or not. It's like, it's your little time with them, you know?
Yeah,
but also that is a good thing, you know, because I'm not going to be that person and say like, your kids have to know fitness in a strict workout routine.
Well, they should.
but it's a good thing that they understand like your
active,
health, like your body.
I'm on a crusade to make America fit again. I think I was listening to Joe Rogan, shout out to my guy, talk about Alzheimer's and dementia, and they were talking about like one of the key components to even like, because we don't know anything about it, but you can slow the process down of a lot of things, actually, a lot of diseases, a lot of things wrong with the body by working out. That'll like, it's almost like it's not a cure, but it definitely fucking reduces your chances of everything.
Exactly.
Every fucking thing that's wrong with people now.
Yeah. I mean, it's just like anything else. If you stop working out, you get muscle atrophy. Means the muscle goes basically numb. It stiffens and it shrinks. But it's the same thing with your organs, with your brain. I mean, that's why you want to you can never stop learning. So you always want to exercise the brain, exercise your digestive, exercise your muscles, because the more you work them, the more the body's like, okay, I need to see whatever Roy's doing. The brain is going to say, okay, I need to keep up with what Roy's doing. So it adjusts to your activity, no matter if it's mental, physical, or whatever. It has, because the thing is that saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. That's with everything.
I'm back to plugging the kickboxing. That's a mental workout too. I'm telling you, like, you gotta like.
That's a stress reliever.
You gotta think about
everything. Yeah,
moving your body. Like if you're not used to it, you gotta learn how to like follow. Just athletic things.
I will say, okay, I'm cheating, but I'm not. Okay, let me tell you. I have a free membership at Nick's with my apartment, so I've been going to their boxing classes or whatever. I went to one tonight.
Okay,
and we there's some instructors that are just like purely just like hit the bag, and there are others that are like, let me show you form, let me show you how to move. And we had one tonight that was like that, and he was telling us, he's like, guys, he's like, this is a dance around the bag. And he was like, you have to glide and you have to think about your foot. And like some guy was just trying to haul ass and hit it, and he was like, no, like, you gotta like work the bag, and it's rhythm, and you gotta think about it. And I never thought about it like that. Like I literally am just like beating the shit out of this thing.
So can I tell you why I don't go to that aspect is because I only have.
It was just interesting.
It is, and that's what Jeno does. Geno's very good on technique, and that's what I tell people is like, if you want technique, Geno's your guy. Like he's gonna sit there and do it. Like me,
you're a cardio.
I'm hardcore. I'm like, just hit the back, just hit it, because I feel like, okay, you guys are in there for 45 minutes. I need to make sure you guys get the best workout as possible. So some people like him, some people like me,
and I like it because it's just like I get to like utilize like what I learned in his classes or like at Nick's. Like whenever I do have those instructors that are really like technical, I get to use that like in your classes because it's just like I don't want to hurt myself.
Exactly,
you know what I mean. And but it's also like I want to burn more calories if I'm doing it right.
I know.
I want to be strong.
Exactly. That's why we were doing Geno's class on Wednesdays. I was trying to get people to get in there to learn technique on Wednesdays and then come to my classes. So they can kind of just.
I remember when he started incorporating like the kicks. The jumping kicks.
So what classes do you offer? What's the time? What's the price like? If you will, if we can talk about that a little bit.
I did a special 2 for $125, which is super cheap for 6 weeks. That was $62.50 a piece, and it's just 5 a.m. in the morning and 5:30 in the evening, Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays, and then Saturday at 9 in the morning. So I took away one time, well, actually two, the Wednesday, but I took away at 5:50 in the morning. My kids go to a different school now, so I cannot be late. Like I have to make sure I get them there on time because they're a transfer. And so now that I finish on time, I'm actually able to get them ready and get them to school on time. It's been actually really nice where I'm not like in such a rush trying to get them out, breakfast, hair ready, all that out the door, you know. But we offer HIIT classes, Tabata classes, kickboxing. I do some just major classes just for abs, for butt, legs, and thighs, which that's one of the popular classes. What else?
So would you say you're more centered towards like the women's physique though?
Right now, that's because that's just all that's coming right now. When Jeno would teach classes, he would have stations out for men and women and just different weights. And so I do have some women that like to lift heavier. So they go get their own weights for the heavy stations and do that. So, yeah.
And you mentioned that earlier. You plan on eventually getting like more like bigger gyms. You know, they have the what is it? The fucking like the weight systems and all that. You plan on eventually do that?
That's what I really want. Because I feel like a lot of women would love the small gym atmosphere, but with weights like that, because they feel so intimidated going to the bigger gyms and not knowing what to do. So I would love to have weight machines and just be able to help women do that. Or men and women, but yeah. So that's what I was gearing towards.
What is some like, I feel like not even just everybody, what's some like motivation you would give them to like get into the gym?
Just do it. Like just
I didn't want to say it's that simple. It is that simple.
It is. I mean, you got to get in there and you got to find a trainer that you're comfortable with and make sure that, you know, if you don't feel comfortable with them, if you feel like you're scared to go back, they're not your trainer.
And that's okay.
And that's okay. Yeah. You got to move on. You know, you got to find your community. You got to find, if you're looking for a boot camp, you got to find the girls that make you feel welcome. And that's a good thing about our gym is that everyone makes everyone feel welcomed. If they don't know what they're doing, I always see one of my girls going to go help them or tell them this is where the gloves are, this is where the weights are. And it's just so awesome. And if my gym isn't for them and they move on to somewhere else, that's okay. Like, I'm totally cool. I just want them to get a good workout. You know, my schedule isn't for everybody, and that's okay. They have to work out somewhere else. That's okay. Like, I'm still happy that they even gave us a chance. And I tell people, stick with us for at least one boot camp. You'll feel a difference. 2 to 3, you'll actually see a difference. You know, so I try to tell them to stick with me for 2 to 3 boot camps to actually really see a difference. If they stick with it. I don't want them to come and work out with me and they say it didn't work and then they're over here eating a fucking cheeseburger or something on Facebook.
Like, you said it.
I consider myself a true testimony to Geno's gym. When I had first started Geno's, I was maybe only down like 40 pounds.
Yeah.
And in total, I'm like at 115 down.
That's amazing.
You know what I mean? But like, I don't know, like it literally is as simple as like, you just got to show up.
Yeah.
You know, and like, but also like, your body hurts either way, no?
Yeah.
You know, your body hurts if you're just wasting away, rotting on your couch.
Pains. You can choose pains.
You got to choose your hard. You got to choose your hard.
Chris put that on Instagram. You either keep going or you quit. It's going to hurt either way. So
Yeah.
Which one do you want?
You got to choose your hard. You know, like you're gonna feel like shit in the morning because you oversleep because you ate like shit the night before. So wake up and get it started.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly.
And
it's for
sleep
your
better.
health too.
I don't know, sleep better at night.
And it's not all about physical appearance. It's about your
It's
health.
all mental. Yeah.
You know, you like diabetes, high blood pressure. You have to now start thinking of all that and being active to take care of that shit right there.
Mm-hmm.
So the older we get, it's like, fuck, I got to make sure all that's in check because we are getting older.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a simple.
You are, Jen, not me. Sorry.
Oh my God.
Getting older. Jen's getting older now. Sorry, my bad.
The thing is just, I mean, simple accountability of yourself because, I mean, it's consistency. I mean, as you know, I mean, if you go and stop, everything that you did kind of just unravels because I worked out for 2-3 years, but now I'm too old or I'm not motivated. The thing is, you have to find what motivates you to go to the gym. Either, hey, my doctor said I got to go, or I'm just tired of being overweight, or I'm tired of being tired.
Yeah.
I'm tired of feeling like this. I'm tired of being disgusted with myself. Then it's just self-motivation. I mean, we can motivate you till we're blue in the face, but until you see it for yourself, you're not going to be like, myself, you know, I'm 45 and I got to stay young for my wife who's younger than me, my kids who are way younger than me, because I don't want to be that dad like, oh, I can't go play outside with you because I'm too old, you know, or I'm too tired or whatever, you know, just because I don't have that endurance or whatever. I mean, it comes time, but the thing is, if you, just like you're saying earlier with that Joe Rogan quote, it's you have to train your body to be better than what it was yesterday, you know, and we're all going to fall off. There's times where I missed 3 months in a row where it's Christmas, it's Thanksgiving, you know, that's always my downtime for some reason. It's just that time of year for me. But I see what motivates me is her going at 5 o'clock in the morning, my son going by himself, my daughter, hey, where are we going to do it? You know, and I see my kids picking up weights at the house, like trying to be like mom and dad, like brother and sister, swimming, just being active, just something that I don't want to be 75 and where I have to be in a wheelchair, or where I can, you know, where if I can prevent that, well, then I'm doing everything I can to do that. It's just, you have to find what clicks for you, because what clicks for Roy, man, is not going to do the same thing for Jeno. So it's just, you have to be at some point you have to be accountable for yourself. And I mean, that goes further than you know, physical fitness, but that's where it starts with keeping yourself in check.
Hell yeah. When did you start doing like MMA and all that stuff, like kickboxing and any of that?
We've always, when I grew up, we're always wrestling stuff. I have 2 brothers, and we're always competing against each other, you know, getting in fights, getting wrestling, you know, and we would watch wrestling on TV, and then we would always see Bruce Lee movies in the drive-in back in the day. I love Bruce Lee, you know what I mean? Is that he's an icon, you know what I mean? Whether, you know, when you like the movies or not, it's just, he changed cinema for martial arts, I mean, back in the 70s. And he died before I even was born, but I watched the movies because my dad took us over there, and then, I want to do karate, Dad. He put us in karate, put us in boxing. And then after that, you know, I kept going, you know, where I would put myself in karate or hapkido or some form of karate, because I always wanted some martial arts just to be able to defend myself, you know, because we all grew up with bullies and my bully was my older brother all the time and stuff, so he'd always beat me up, but he was 2 years older and a lot bigger and stuff. So finally, you know, kind of point where we got the same age where, you know, this self-defense and boxing, we could, you know, compete with each other. And we fought a couple of times, you know, with gloves and without gloves, and you see where you're at with it. And I would always fight guys bigger than me all the time, because I was always a skinny kid and looked like I was malnourished. I mean, skeleton skinny, you know, when I was younger. So just being able to protect myself and hold my own was a big thing for me, where I didn't need my older brother to have my fights for me. And I would fight guys bigger than me, whether it be, like I said, with or without gloves. So I've always tried to test myself. You know, I'm not one to fight, go pick a fight, but I want to always defend myself. So, you know, I've done Hapkido, I've done karate, taekwondo, just a little bit of everything here and there. And I've been an instructor here, a junior instructor with the kids and all that. So it's always been some part of my background. And I competed back when I was in my, 19, 20 years old. A few amateur kickboxing bouts, you know. I haven't lost yet, but of course I've only had a couple fights. So I always keep that. I'm never lost.
Which one would you say, like, which style of fighting is your favorite?
I love Hapkido because it was, at the time, it was more about joint manipulation, how to do holds, crank the arm, you know, chokes and stuff like that. Just the way, it's not just punching and kicking. It was actually, okay, if they punched you hard or you slip a punch and grab them, you can put them down without beating them to death or beating them up too bad. You know, you can put them in a choke or hold, or, you know, where you can, you know, put their arm in a lock where, okay, they're going down the ground, or get their legs down or something. My big thing now is, which I haven't done yet, is Brazilian Jiu Jitsu. I've never done that before, but that's going to be my next aspect of fighting.
Do that.
Yeah, we should do that together.
Well, then we are going to do it together.
That's
they say that, yeah, like Jiu Jitsu is like the key one to do or whatever.
Yeah, because it's a form of body control that doesn't require striking, but you can have that background as well. And MMA is a combination of all these things, you know, boxing, kickboxing, Muay Thai, karate, Jiu Jitsu, all these things come out as one. And the one that can, it's not the what's the better style, is it's who is more disciplined and who has the better technique or whatever. So I mean, it's always intrigued me. I've always watched martial arts movies, always been a big fan with it. When UFC came out in 1993, I watched every single UFC, you know, since 1993, when it was just a cockfight compared to what it is now. And I've seen it grow for, you know, since I was, you know, in high school. And it's amazing, you know, and that's my thing. You know, I love boxing. You know, I love MMA. I've never been like a huge basketball or baseball fan or anything else. Football, I'll watch that, but fighting, MMA and boxing has always been my go-to thing.
I heard UFC used to be crazy back then.
No, it was. I mean,
when we first started dating, it was UFC 50. 50.
Damn, it was 280 now.
Yeah.
It was Randy Couture versus Tito Ortiz for the belt.
It's so crazy. Yeah. Now it's all in the 200s. Yeah.
But back in the day, it was just no weight classes, no rounds. They would just fight for like 30, 45 minutes, just straight, no breaks or anything. I mean,
Jesus Christ.
You saw a guy that was, you know, 180 pounds fighting a 300-pound sumo wrestler, you know what I mean? And the sumo guy would lose because he got kicked in the face. You know, it was just crazy. And there would be times where this 150-pound guy would fight this big guy named Dan Severn. This looks like a bear, and he would toss him around like a rag doll. So it was just no holds barred. I mean, there was rules, but it was like few and far between, and it was crazy.
Damn, how did you hear about it? Just because you were into that world?
Well, I was always into martial arts, and then when you would have the martial arts magazine, like Black Belt and Karate Magazine, they'd be in the back. Like, okay, remember October something in 1993, this can come out. And this, you know, right now we have UFC like every weekend. It was like 6 months every time, 3 to 6 months every time this would come out. And it would be somewhere like in Denver, Colorado, and the back was on some kind of Indian reservation where it was legal, because it was way legal back then. And it was like very controversial because it was, I mean, just basically cockfighting with humans.
Oh, shit.
And it was wild. People were getting, I mean, it's where you can kick them in the nuts. And
like underground fighting?
Yeah,
have you ever been to a cockfight?
No. Have I been to a cockfight? No, I haven't.
My uncles used to do that shit. God damn. I never went. I was too young, but they used to raise them, and I was like, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, I have families that were too, but I never went to them before. It was just, it's illegal, so other illegal stuff is going on there too.
Oh, yeah.
So,
yeah. My fault, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to watch it. I don't want to watch any animal fight to the death. That's crazy.
It's crazy. I mean, I'll watch a human fight. An animal.
I asked my friend that once. I was like, would you watch, I'm asking you too, would you watch like a gladiator type thing if it was sanctioned and everybody agreed, like, we're going to fight literally to the death? Mm-hmm. Would you watch that?
I wouldn't.
I didn't think the ladies would. Would you watch that? Like,
I think death is so private.
Like some Middle Eastern country hosting
what the
people.
fuck?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, because that's where they're gonna do it.
What the hell kind of snuff film is that?
Well,
two grown men agree, like, we're gonna fight to the death. Like, they just agree to it.
You gotta find it on the black web or something.
No, I'm just saying, like, would you watch that? I don't know. I thought about that.
Well, that's where it all came from the gladiators.
Gladiators used to do that.
You know,
the whole fucking town used to go and watch
It's awful.
people die.
you know,
What if they deserve it?
You know, they used to, like, up until, like, I think the 40s or the 50s, do public executions.
So, like, okay,
The
when
whole town would
gladiators
gather
would
that.
fight, were they like warriors that were like fighters and they were going to fight to the death, or were they shitty people fighting to the
I
death?
think it was a lot of everything.
I think it was like a gambit from like criminals all the way just to people who couldn't afford to pay for their land or whatever. And they would be kind of like, you know,
That's even worse.
It was like sometimes it was like slavery.
and slavery. And then also you had the top dogs that were the gladiators that would kind of feast on these farmers and common people. And then it was kind of like a tournament. Okay, you eliminate the weaklings, and then you kind of get up to the top dogs, and they fight each other. Kind of like in football.
I think it is like UFC though. Like those guys were the rock stars.
Yeah.
At the time, they were just that's I don't know. I was just asking.
And it wasn't wins and losses. It was just either survive. Or
honestly.
I mean, honestly, I try be like a tough guy. Like, I watch that. I don't think I could. I mean, I can watch boxing and stuff, but I know at the end of the day, these guys are going home, and there's still stories where people still die just from getting hit in the head or something like that. So it's still violent, but not like it was back then. But yeah.
Would you?
Yeah, I would. I would.
Roy's crazy.
I've seen some crazy weird videos like that. But if it's everybody's consenting, what the fuck, I don't know. That's a wild thing. I don't know why I started going down that one. My bad. It's the Bud Lights talking. Sorry.
Well, you think what if I'm in that situation? What would I do? That's the big thing. Like, okay, could I survive that? Could I handle that? Could I kill somebody if I needed to? You want to put yourself in that situation, but until you're in that situation, you don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, at least like you're pretty prepared if that ever happened.
I like to think I am, but again, this is like hand to hand. Who knows they have a gun? Who knows they have a knife? Or, that's what I worry about every time. And I catch myself like I'm not a big crowd person, like going to concerts or going to a big venue, stuff like that. It's just, I'm always looking around, just seeing who's there or whatnot. And I'll walk into a place and see who's there and kind of sizing people up. Not to be a jerk, but just like, okay, if someone goes down, what do I do in this situation? Where's the exits at? Stuff like that. I don't tell nobody, just that's what's going in the back of my head. Because if I have my wife and my kids with me, okay, what do I do? And I'm very scared to freeze. I'll kind of come back to this here in a minute, because we went to I don't know if you remember this, but we went to your granddad's funeral, right? And her sister had a seizure, and she was sitting right next to us. And her and her dad went into the protect mode, and they helped her out and everything. And it was stressful. And I froze because I don't know what she was doing, what I should do, because it was my sister, and I didn't want to interfere. And her skirt was coming up and everything. It was just, I didn't want to do something inappropriate. You know what I mean? And her dad jumped across the aisle to help her out, and I froze. And that kind of put me in like, what would I do in a different situation? You know what I mean? So that kind of, it kind of opened my eyes a lot. Like, am I a brave guy or am I a coward? And I think every guy struggles with that. And so me, it's like, at that point I froze, but my wife and her dad went to action right there. What should I have done? And I'm always checking myself with that stuff like that. Do you remember that? Mm-hmm. So do you remember, what'd you think about me after that?
I don't remember that. I remember helping my sister.
Yeah. It was her sister, her and me. And she was having a seizure because it was a very stressful time at that funeral. And she fell down, and Destiny was like, hey, boom, and her dad jumped across. And I wasn't trying to.
It's just, seizures are scary.
Yeah.
To see. They're very, very scary.
And you don't want to do something wrong either. You want to hinder.
People are so delicate in that state.
Yeah, and you want to hinder them from helping. It's like, I better just, step back, whatever. So it's you got to check your bravery and your courage at the door when something like that happens, and kind of see where you stand with all this stuff. Because I know it's not a fight situation like that, but it's still an emergency situation. Like, would you run in a burning building to save a dog or a cat or a person? You know what I mean? You want to say, yeah, I would, but would you?
I'll serve my dogs before I save a person. I'll say that right now. You know, humans can, other than kids, humans can get out. I get my dog. Yeah. I've seen some videos like that. I'm like, damn, I always think about that too. Yeah. You never know.
And you always, question yourself, like, what kind of person or what kind of man are you? You know what I mean? That's why I'm always like, what am I going to do in this situation? That's always a question for me.
Hell yeah. Well, I'll let you guys continue on the conversation real quick while I take a piss.
Oh, yeah.
If you want, or you want to take a break, or you're going to keep going?
It's up to you.
You keep going because I got to pee real quick. Sorry. Bring it back to the light because I brought it down a little bit. Sorry.
I know y'all know the people from West Texas Files. Right?
Yes.
Or y'all listen to that?
Yeah, they're good friends.
Jeremy and Cisco.
Cisco's a good friend of mine.
Yeah, no, we had them on the podcast last year. Hopefully we can get them on soon.
Yeah.
Oh my God. They scary men. Scary men. That guy Cisco was telling us some stories and I got so scared. I was like, stop talking.
Yeah.
Stop talking. Yeah. Do y'all still listen to his podcast?
I do. I just listened to one today. They just posted a new one on Tuesday.
806 X-Files, right? Like that?
No, it's West Texas.
West Texas Files, yeah. Yeah, I know I used to work with Jeremy. I've known Cisco we've known Cisco for a number of years. They're good guys, and I understand, they're very curious, and just like Destiny is. I try not to go down that route because I don't want to kind of bring up the dust. If it's dead and gone, leave it alone. And that's
we're
my
very
thing.
opposite. Like I love
spooky shit.
Gino doesn't.
Me and Roy were scared.
Well, no, yeah, I was scared when he was talking about it.
Gino's not. I don't want to say he's a skeptic, but there was a time that some stuff happened to us when we first moved into our house, and at that time we were watching. Well, I was watching a lot of scary stuff, and I think he feels like I brought bad energy into the house because our air conditioner went out, our pool filter went out, the electric box went out, like everything was happening.
Everything was going wrong
in a month. Within a month.
Car went out. We had a gas leak. Everything within a month's time.
Within a month. And so I was going to watch
that sounds like or something.
Yes, well, it was. We just moved in. And I was like, we got the house appraised. There was nothing wrong with it. And so when I was going to watch something later, it says, don't watch. It's cursed. I was like, Gino, I'm going to watch this. And he got on my ass. He's like, no, you're not watching that. And I didn't know he felt that. I didn't know he believed in the bad juju,
How to distract her with sex.
So I didn't watch the video, but
Wait, which one of them do y'all know on that?
We know both of them. Mm-hmm. I mean, she's
Jeremy.
I know Jeremy, and Cisco. She's more familiar with Cisco, but we've known both.
How do you know Jeremy?
I used to work with Jeremy years ago. Where was it at? I can't remember. It was one of these. I don't know. It was Singular or AT&T or one of these.
This is the reason I'm saying that, because he used to work for my stepmom. I did not know this.
Really?
He was at my stepmom and dad's wedding. I was at it too. I didn't know that. Like,
who's at it too?
Yeah, sure, yeah. I was
what?
Her name's Krisha Bush. She works for Verizon.
Okay, yeah. See, that's probably what it was. Yeah. I've done AT&T, Verizon, T-Mobile, Nextel. Whenever it was a thing, so all those, so that's probably where I know Jeremy from, and just we know the same group of people.
Oh, okay.
And then Cisco, we've known him through the radio station.
Okay, yeah, then I got the right people because I'm trying to get them back on, and they're
good guys.
Spooky guys, spooky boys.
That shit it's like our go-to to talk about, but goddamn, that shit's scary, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, we don't got to linger on this.
I like to get spooked.
I do want to know because I get a little spooked out at the gym early in the morning. Have you ever
at the gym? I do feel like I have a little ghost there. I feel like it's a little friend.
I never not like terrified, but I'm just kind of like, this is an old piece of Lubbock. This is an old building.
Some stuff has happened. Like the weights one time fell all by themselves, and Mary, usually in the back, she's like, nobody was back there. Nobody touched anything. And the weights fell. One time my speaker turned up all the way by itself when I was in a personal training session. I was like, look, friend, I need you to stop. Like I try to do a positive vibe because I'm there by myself sometimes too. One time, I will never forget this. I opened the gym early in the morning and my whole light set was on the ground, laid perfect. It was not broken at all. Everything was locked. Nobody broke in. And if it fell, lights would have been broken and everything. But it's like, it was just
set on the ground.
Set on the ground. So that's why Jeno put zip ties against it to hold it to make sure.
It had zip ties before.
Yes. So
Oh shit.
it was like
I zip tied them to begin with.
So
how that happened, I have no
we don't
clue.
know. So I call it my little friend.
So you don't even think about these things.
This is my thing. I'm not saying there's not ghosts. I just don't fuck with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The thing is, you gotta remember, these ghosts were people at one time. So all they're trying
So you can acknowledge that something's
that
there.
it might be real.
Tell about when you were living with so-and-so and something got on top of you.
Oh, I've had that.
Roy is no stranger to sleep paralysis.
I've had that.
Yes.
I have it so frequent that I know it's happening.
It's happened to me once. And I was so tired. I was like, you know what? If you're in here, just chill, do what you got to do. Just let me sleep. I was just so tired. I even wasn't even scared. I was just like, oh, just let me sleep.
Frustrated.
I just got off of work and work 2 shifts, and
I've never had sleep paralysis. I think I would freak out.
Just because I'm in the mood, I want to tell you 2 stories.
Okay.
Sleep paralysis story. Well, we used to.
Is it about the lady?
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, it's ugly.
This is an ugly story. Just the real story is ugly. We used to.
Jen, you can go to the restroom at this time. You can go to the restroom.
we used to do, because I landscape, so we used to do this yard, and just, well, man, I don't even know if people. The yard across was her lover, and he calls my boss one day and tells us that lady, she shot and killed herself at this house. And I was like, that's just bad in itself, like that in the house. So we're still cleaning the house
Wow.
to get it ready to sell, because I'm just like, fuck, this is, I don't want to look in these windows, nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Sometime I don't want to say it was that night, but that fucking one sleep later, I see because my guitar was leaning on my bed, and it moved, and this like fucking old lady's like over me screaming. It was sleep paralysis, but it was like this old lady screaming at me.
But it was y'all's client?
I imagine, because it was this old lady screaming at me, and when I like snapped back, the reason I say that, because I saw my guitar back, because I saw it move, and then this like old lady screaming, and then I was like, all right, whatever's happening is happening. I know it's sleep paralysis, and then I just come to, and my guitar's back, laying on my bed, and I'm like, what the fuck was that? I think it was that old lady. I really do believe it was that
I
fucking
remember you telling me that, like, you thought, like, he kind of thought he had attracted it because it was heavy on his mind.
Yeah.
It was
just weird. Yeah.
I mean, and you think about it, like, wow, this lady ended her life here, and we're just cleaning the yard up, you know?
The old man that was her lover, he was I would consider him a friend, you know, you feel for him, and like, that sucks.
Just think about it. It's an
and
awful
I was
thing.
thinking about it, and I think I just brought it home, and she got me. I give you that. She fucking got me that night. That was a fucking creepiest dream I think I've ever had.
Yeah.
Sleep paralysis. That was insane. And one time we were here, and I seen this fucking like white orb.
This happened like
2 months ago, 3 months ago.
not even 3 months ago. This was very recent.
So it's like me and this other guy who's normally here, Bradley, and I think Jen was just us 3.
Yeah, I was on that side.
And I seen a white orb, and I was like,
You saw it without the camera?
no, like
We were recording.
So I leave this car here. I don't want to tell people this. I leave this car here, so there's only one way in. So I see this white orb like literally right here, because it's like the little, and I'm ignoring it. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah.
And we continue on, and
when
I'm just
we were
like,
recording, I didn't ask him, but we were recording, and I see him go, and that was it. And so after, we were like, "Do you see something?" And he told us.
And then Bradley confirmed it. He was like, "Oh, I saw it too." I was like,
"Oh wow, I just got the
what
chills."
in the fuck was that, man? I don't know, man.
So that happens. Roy, podcast is over. He's putting everything up. So me and B Rad, we like to indulge in the devil's lettuce. So we're having our smoke.
Yeah.
And Roy's in between us talking, and Roy all of a sudden, like, we're not even talking to Roy. We're talking to each other. And all of a sudden Roy's like, guys, he got spooked because he saw it again.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, he saw it twice in the same night. But the night before, I came to spend the night, and I was walking up the walkway, and I hear a woman in the yard, and I hear somebody go, "Hey," in the yard. And I looked back, and I mean, I thought maybe it was somebody out across the street.
Yeah. Was it dark or morning?
Probably.
I was like, who the fuck? And
she comes back every now and then. Sorry.
She lingers.
Yeah.
Gotta shake her off. But I come in and I'm like, is your sister like yelling or because like it was that clear. It was that clear. But I was walking to the house and I'm walking in this direction, but I heard a girl's hey, in the air, and his sister's making noise, but it wasn't this definite hey. So the next day, where he saw that shit forming, is where I heard the voice.
Wow.
Weird,
yeah. So it was a spirit that wasn't ready to leave.
We've heard it before too. We've caught that one on camera. We heard it.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
That was another podcast. That was another podcast. It was when he and we weren't even dating yet. We were literally just friends podcasting. He invited me on and we used to love talking about spooky movies and stories and all that. And we're just talking, and I don't know what we were talking about, but our old setup was I was there, he was there, and we used to have a friend named Juan that would sit at the table. We
didn't have these curtains.
Wow.
Yeah, so it was just a table here.
Yeah.
And he would be behind the soundboard.
Yeah.
And so we're talking about spooky shit late at night, and we hear a dog bark right here.
Oh, wow.
So that we heard it, and like
it sounded like a dog, but I don't know.
And I want to say this was not like a hellhound ass bark. It was like a chihuahua, like
Yeah.
like it was like the cutest little bark. But there was no dog here. There's no dog here. We heard it in the garage, and then he caught it on audio.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I'm a child of God, but I like.
And after that, we stopped talking.
I like to think about these things sometimes. I get scared.
It's a time of year. It's a time of year to get spooky.
Have you listened to Cisco? The one about witches. Have you heard the fucking? Did you listen to that?
I did.
He showed us pictures of that shit. Did he show you?
So
is there pictures on the YouTube? I haven't seen it.
He showed us pictures on his phone.
Like it was after when we were like, oh, this is spooky. He was like, yeah, look at the cats, the dead cats. We were like,
I see the cats.
Yeah, because I think he mentioned it in that podcast where that witch was haunting them.
Yeah.
They decapitated cats and put them in his yard. He showed us fucking pictures, and I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah,
man?
So it's like we're listening to the story.
It was
like,
weird.
Not saying that people like lie, obviously, but it's just like it's a good ass scary story. He's a radio personality.
Real shit.
He's just got this beautiful way of like just speaking, spooking you out.
Yeah.
And then after he was like, "Yeah, no, you want to see the dead cat?"
Oh my god!
I was like, "Dude, you gotta go."
If you think about it,
you have to go home. And my lamp unplugged that night.
Oh wow!
What if
I'm not defaming. What is that defamatory? I'm not saying that.
No, you're a spooky guy. You're cool.
Yeah, you're a spooky guy. I'm just kidding, Cisco.
Cisco knows us.
You guys know him. Yeah, you guys know him better than us.
Yeah.
But when he showed us his pictures, I was like, "Oh, this shit's real. That shit is real." Because you can conjure up some shit, I believe. And
well, you know which one was my favorite was when he did a thing on Pioneer Hotel over here downtown. That hotel, the creepy one that everyone...
Somebody recently died out there too.
Yes, they were beheaded.
They
were beheaded and it's a mystery.
Cisco again.
Well, I think it ended up being like they jumped.
Oh, yeah?
They jumped and they just landed weird.
Like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That was last year. That was weird.
It was last year.
That was like right after we did.
Oh, I remember. I thought there was a serial killer out here.
Yeah.
I was like getting under Roy. I was like, Roy, this is scary. He's like, yep, it is. And I was like, Roy, this is terrifying for women.
But did y'all hear that podcast of all the murders and mysterious stuff that has happened there?
No.
Okay, go listen to that one because I liked that one because it was here in Lubbock.
Local.
And I wanted to go to that bar and eat there, right? And Geno's like, well, why? It's, if there's something bad there, we're going to bring it home. So again, we're not going to do it. So I was like, okay.
This is my thing. Yeah, I believe in God and everything, but you can't be that arrogant to think none of this stuff is actually real. You know what I mean? Like there has to be life out there.
You mean
beyond the stars? There has to be something after death. There has to be something going on. It can't be a coincidence, all these things happening. But I think the more you indulge in it, the more it will come to haunt you or become part of your life. You know what I mean?
That's why I believe that, because I believe those witches, and they just devote their whole life and energy to that.
Yeah.
And I've heard that it comes at the price for them, but they're gonna fucking get you if you let it.
Yeah.
If you let it. So when I don't fuck with witches. That's my whole point.
Well,
God damn it, I don't fuck with witches.
I know.
I'll tell you my story just real quick. I was 18, 19 at the time. I just moved out of my house, moved in with my girlfriend at the time. And I was, raised real religious. So I'm like, none of this stuff is real, right? Goblins, ghosts, witches, all this stuff was not real, right? So we moved to this duplex, all right? Now, the one that we moved into right before us was a lady had got murdered by her husband. And he set the house on fire. and it just charted the house. It just, I mean, he went to jail. It was a whole thing right in my hometown. Well, we were the next tenants to live in there. And the reason we lived there because it was super cheap because somebody got killed in there, right? And like, I don't believe in ghosts. I mean, I'm going to take the deal just because I can't, you know, I'm leaving that crap. So we lived there for a good few months. And I can't remember how long we lived there. I was there for a good year. But when this happened, I was working at a warehouse where I would work overnight and I would get off at 3 o'clock in the morning. And this particular night, this girl was out of town and I had to walk home because I didn't have a car at the time. So I walked about 4 or 5 miles in the dark, you know, but I'm thinking I'm a grown ass man. I can do, you know, I'm fine.
It's a little different.
It's different, you know, but I walked, you know, across town to this apartment, got home dead tired, like I was saying, and I went to sleep and had a sleep paralysis. It just felt like someone was sitting on my face and my chest where I could not breathe. I couldn't get up. And then when I finally came to, all you saw was just the silhouette of the room. There was a street light outside of our, right there on the corner where we lived, and it came through the blinds. So all you see was just a very vague outline of the room. Now, I didn't see nothing. I didn't hear nothing, but something was there with me. All right. I like, look, whoever's in here, do what you got to do. Take what you want to take, feel what you want to do. But the thing is, just let me go back to sleep. Have you ruined the house? I don't care. And I fell back asleep. I was just that tired that I didn't even care. But the next day, when it kind of hit me, I was, you know, scared shitless.
Spooked you, yeah.
Spooked me. But I think I didn't tell nobody for years because I didn't believe in that. And none of that was real until it became real, you know?
Yeah.
You know, that ojo stuff, you know, until I got a black claw put on my truck that my girlfriend's ex-boyfriend put on there, who was, I guess, deep into that. It was like, it wasn't a crow, it was some foot. It was black and it was a bird's foot like this, upside down under my windshield.
Ew.
And my life was going pretty much how I expected to until that point. And then shit started falling apart. You know, nothing huge or anything, but I could see a change. I could see something different, you know, and it was, I mean, I never went to a curandero or a witch doctor or anything like that because I didn't believe in that stuff. And not that I do or anything, not, but I acknowledge it. I don't dismiss it anymore. I don't go to that either. But I acknowledge it. You know, it has to be something out there. But I think the more you feed into it, the more power you give to it, the more power it's gonna gain and use against you. So I'm like, you know, I don't deal with none of that stuff. That's just me. But that was my story.
Yeah, like I had friends that are like, we should watch scary movies, and they're like, you know, sorry, we don't do that here. And I was like, well, that's stupid. No, but now I know why, because they don't want to invite that energy to their house. So I'm respectful of it now, but back then I didn't understand it.
Oh no, I'm a spooky girl.
I am too.
Just accept it.
Yeah, I don't know about movies in particular. I mean, if you allow it, I guess.
I mean,
your mind.
I've seen films where like I've been affected.
Really?
Yeah,
man, one messed me up for real.
No, like there's one like where it had a direct warning at the beginning of the film.
Yeah.
And like you got to really think about it. Like there are like legends of like pressings of like original vinyls from like really, really famous musicians that vinyl being reproduced is like witchcraft being spread out throughout the nation because it's a popular record, right? That's how, yeah. So it's like, I really believe like energy can be transferred like that.
Yeah.
You know? So I watched a spooky documentary. It was about a haunted house. I won't name it. But it's very common. But
is that with Zach Baggins?
Yeah, it is. It's Demon House. Anyways,
that's what I wanted to watch, and he told
don't
me
do it. No, don't. I mean, it's as interesting as it is.
Yeah,
that's
exactly the one I wanted to watch.
Fucking night, I had an experience. My ex at the time, he was my boyfriend at the time. He had an experience, and my mom felt something. She didn't even watch the movie.
Oh wow!
But there's a warning in front of the movie.
Yeah.
I watched the movie. It was just a long Ghost Adventures episode, honestly, and it was spooky.
Yeah.
But at the time, me and my ex were watching it, and I'm living at home with my parents. And I hear my car beep like it got unlocked, but my car keys are hanging on the thing.
Oh, wow.
And so immediately he's like, someone's breaking into your fucking car, and he's gonna go out there and whatever. And I'm like, no, I don't know. I got scared. Nobody was out there. He circled. He went out. Nobody was out there.
Wow.
So I am kind of like, I want to wake up my mom and kind of tell her what happened. I don't know. I feel like, what if somebody was out there?
Yeah.
You know? And he was like, no, like fucking leave your parents alone. He leaves. I go to bed. The next day, my mom is at work and she's talking to me on her break. And I'm like, I got to tell you what happened last night with the car. And so I tell her on the phone what happened and how it was kind of spooky in the movie I watched. And she was like, is that why you came in the room last night?
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, no, I wanted to talk to you, but I know I didn't, you know? And she was like, I heard the door open. She was like, I thought you were standing there. I thought you were going to say something you just never did. And I was like, mm-mm. And then she was like, okay, well, let me tell you what happened this morning. And I'm like, Mom. So they have a Chewini named Chewy and we have a boxer named Barney at my parents' house. And they sleep in the laundry room. And in the mornings, my mom's cooking and they sleep and then she'll let them out. Yeah. So Barney goes outside and Chewy just didn't, he wasn't ready to go, you know? And so she leaves him in there and she has to take him out to go potty. So she's like, come on, Chewy. She's trying to get him out. Yeah. It's like 6 a.m. So it's early and my dad's showering, getting ready for work. And my mom said that she was trying to talk to him. Come on, Chewy. Come on, Chewy. And that she hears Chewy in the laundry room. She heard something else in the tiny little laundry room. Yeah. She heard something else say Chewy's name.
Oh my gosh.
And I was like, and she's like, I don't think it was anything, but like, I heard it, but I don't think it was anything. You know, so you know how, just, no, it didn't happen, but it did. But no, it didn't. And then I'm telling my boyfriend at the time this, and he's like, I had fucking sleep paralysis last night.
Oh my God.
Yeah. And he watched the movie with me as well. Yeah. Or whatever. And so it was just too coincidental that night. So yeah, I probably wouldn't. Yeah. You have little ones. You have little ones.
Can you?
I would not do it. Yeah. Well, I'm like, yeah.
I don't want to. I just want to see it. We got to use the googs.
I mean, no, but honestly, with all the people involved in this film, like Zach Baggins, now he wears like really thick glasses. It's because his retina detached in this house.
Oh, really?
He had like vision problems. One of the camera guys, they had to fire him during the filming of this documentary, and his life went completely downhill.
Oh my gosh!
Because he went to the basement of this house by himself. Something called him down by himself. Another researcher that came to the house to investigate it had organ failure after. So it got to the point to where he bought the house. Zach Baggins bought the house to get it destroyed.
Wow.
Oh man.
Like he bought it with the intention of destroying it because it was that evil. Just immediately how it affected his crew.
I want to do that with West Texas Files. I want to go and explore an area with them.
I think that'd be fun. But again, I'm afraid something will follow me home.
Yeah. I don't know, because I am with you. Like, I can just shut my brain off to it.
Have you seen the house on Woodrow?
On
Woodrow Road, that haunted house?
The one that's like alone, the big one? Yeah. Is that one haunted?
Yeah,
I believe
big
it.
Time haunted.
Yeah.
They had it open for Halloween. Like a
haunted house, but
they didn't do it this year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I would like to go with them and do something, because I don't know. I just think I can, like... Maybe other people would be.
I would not be
fucked up about it.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm such a spooky person, but I don't think I can go into a haunted house because I'm afraid. Like, I did a Ouija board one time.
Oh no!
And I was younger, and something followed me back to my house. It was horrible.
I only messed with it once, and I was also young.
Yeah,
and it never moved. I never contacted anything. But when my hand was on the planchette, I felt little fingers tapping me, but it never moved. But my friend that I did that with, something followed her home. Yeah, but not me.
Something followed me for sure.
I don't fuck with that.
I don't fuck with that. I know.
No, I don't at all. Like, that was just, it was a very dumb.
It's just one of those, you stay the night at someone's house and there's something to do. Yeah.
Perfect for spooky season. People get scared.
It's about that time.
It is about that time.
The movie we saw that kind of fucked us up was the Poughkeepsie tapes.
Oh, Poughkeepsie tapes. I'm surprised y'all know about that.
That one's horrible.
Yeah.
That's the reason why he wakes up to walk me to my car in the morning.
Because it's something that's
that movie was banned for like a decade.
It's like more.
I didn't know that.
Please, I'm gonna see it.
It seems more practical because it's just a crazy person that wants to
and never got found.
Yeah, wants to inflict just pain and torture on people. You know.
Mm-hmm. See, that's weird. So this movie, let me tell you a premise of this movie. It's filmed like a snuff film, and it's also filmed like a documentary and like a murder documentary. So essentially they find all these boxes of tapes, they put it together. It's a serial killer and all his recordings, all his stalkings and everything. And they start watching it, they put it together, and I think they're trying to find his last victim or something like that. But it's rough to watch.
It is.
It's got
hard.
child death, it's got women, it's you name it, it has it in it. It was banned for a long time. It has made its resurfaced. It has also resurfaced on TikTok. So it's getting a lot of buzz. But this is a really, really, really good movie, and it was ahead of its time in the sense that it was from like 2003.
See, I'm more inclined to dismiss this type of stuff, the real shit that could actually happen.
No, this shit is scary.
As opposed to the demon
That's what I'm
shit.
saying. I'm matcha to a percent. Like I'll fight anyone, but when it's a serial killer or 2 or 3 guys trying to take me, I'm like, man, this is where I'm not.
I think I made a joke about that guy cutting his head off that you got really upset about.
Which one?
Well, you know that the guy that fell and that one that we were just talking about. Where
the parent.
Yeah, because you were like, "There's a serial killer." And I was like, I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yes, he did say that. I was like,
oh, dude,
Roy,
we need that.
I was like,
my first
we're not
mentality.
Say it, but
I'm sorry. My first mentality was like, dude, Lubbock.
I wake up early.
A little exciting news in Lubbock. That's what my first mentality was. I'm sorry that.
I was pissed. I understand. I was like, what the fuck?
I understand that my view is a little bit different because like Jeno had said, I've walked many a times, not anymore, alone through these streets of Lubbock, drunk. And I never worried about anything.
Yeah.
I know it's completely different.
Well, you're a guy.
I know, that's what I'm saying. I understand it's way different. And I've literally walked from the bars downtown home.
Yeah.
And
dating me, he's had to like realize like I will not do things alone. Like I will be like he'll be like, take me home, blah blah blah, and I'll be like, I have to go put gas in my car, and like I need to go do this. Like I'm not.
Yeah, I never had that understanding until dating her. It's like I do that. I'll go and put gas in.
Yeah,
of course, I'm vigilant. I'm looking.
If it's like nighttime, I'm not gonna do it.
But I do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the unfortunate reality. They're more inclined to not come towards me as opposed to somebody else. You know, like women. So I never like, and I just remember like, I remember when I was younger.
Yeah.
A bar rat, and I would just stroll through Lubbock. I used to love just leaving. Like, I had to break through that with Jen. Like I'd just leave. I wouldn't tell nobody. I just fucking walk home. I don't give a fuck. I'll just leave. And I used to love doing that. I used to love just walking around and
just like your getaway.
Yeah, I used to walk through tech drunk as fuck. It was like just stupid shit, but I never.
Now I don't think you can do that anymore.
I don't even. Yeah, I don't know. I'm sure they would kidnap me if they wanted to, because I'm fucked up thing. And what am I gonna do? I'm gonna fucking fall over.
Yeah.
But man, it's different. And I remember saying that, and you were really pissed off that I said that.
I was, because I was like, because they were like, there were no details, and all they had was this like beheading.
And I literally think it was after the West Texas podcast that it happened.
They're investigating. Like it was the headline itself was just very like sketchy, and it made me think like somebody killed somebody or like there's a serial killer. Or
listen to Cisco and Jeremy's part. There's like been 5 or 6 things that happened there since the 50s.
Oh, I believe it.
Yeah,
I mean that place was a hotel. It was a retirement home.
Oh, so I watched this other podcast called Freaked Out. I posted it on my story today. They're talking. So it's a median, but she's really good actually. She actually helps other like police people. Solve stories, right? So she's actually speaking to the girl that fell into the thing at the Cecil Hotel.
Oh, Lisa Lamb?
Yes, that one. And so she's actually talking to her about like what happened. So I believe in that stuff. Like I really do. Like if I could have a superpower, that would be it. That I could talk to the dead. But yeah.
I'd be scared.
That'd be insane.
Yeah.
God damn.
Spooky season's here.
It's here, and it's we can change it up because that was. Did you ask that question? Didn't you?
Me?
You started getting on the spooky stuff. Of course you did.
I have to. Do you want to keep going, or do you keep it at 2 hours?
We can keep going. But I actually got to pee again. So
yeah,
if you want to keep going,
I'm like,
these Bud Lights are going through us.
Yeah,
all I know is how to spook it out.
Yeah, I've had a few. We can take a little pause.
Okay.
Another not spooky segment at the Snake Pit with Rattlesnake Roy. We're here. I'm interested in not one thing, but right now in my mind, life insurance. You guys sell it,
right?
What does that do? Like, why do you need life insurance? Can you explain that to me? I'm young. I don't know.
Well, and this is the thing. When you're young, you don't think you need, because when you're young, you think you can live forever. But once you start
definitely think that.
Right. Once you start getting older, then it starts creeping up on your mind, because you see friends of yours passing away. You see elders pass away, parents, grandparents, uncles, all these people, just withering away and not having nothing. They're having GoFundMe's and tamale sales and all this stuff just to cover their funeral expenses, not to get ahead of the game, but just to pay for just to put them in the ground or cremate them, all these things, right? So what a lot of us don't know, and especially in our community, in the Spanish community or Hispanic community, is how to transfer wealth, how to build wealth, because we've never been taught that. Our parents shouldn't know that. Their parents should know that, all these things, right? And it takes, you always have that one person in the family that makes money, knows that work money, but none of us don't, So coming into life insurance, it's how to leave a legacy for your family, to make sure that even though my presence is gone, the financial part of it is still okay with my family. You don't want to leave them with nothing. You want to build something that once you're gone, they can use to either build their wealth, start their legacy, or to get them through the next 10, 15, 20 years, either you're not there. Because as much as you don't realize it, that person in your life, your wife, your husband, that breadwinner is like so important, because when they're not there, they're not providing any kind of financial support anymore. Their presence not there for guidance or education or anything. So you have to at least something for your family. So the thing is, we're very high on life insurance. We've both had instances in our lives where life insurance has been a huge part of it. Destiny's family, I mean, you want to tell your story, babe? Can I tell it?
Yeah.
Okay. Destiny's adopted. Her mother passed away when she was 6 months old. 7 months old. She was a baby when her mother passed away. So her grandmother, who's her mother now, adopted her and raised her as her own. But her mom had life insurance that Destiny was able to take part of once she turned 18. She had a lump sum from her mom, which is her grandma, but her mom now, from her biological mother's death. And we use it to, get our first car, first apartment, first furniture, all this stuff. But we didn't know we should have had to reinvest it because we weren't familiar with it. And her mom was, but not to the extent she is now. Her mom, they had life insurance, and then so she benefited from that, because she was smart enough.
It had purpose.
I just wanted to sound like, you know what I mean? How that,
I mean, I don't want to sound like she, whatever I made it sound like, but basically she was smart enough to put life insurance on herself, her husband, and her daughter.
And at the time, I was in our 20s. I think I just had my first son. I didn't think I needed it. I was like, I kept putting the appointment off. Well, my mom had to come pick me up and take me to the damn insurance appointment so I could get life insurance, because she knew how important it was. But me being young, I was thinking, nothing's going to happen to me. I'm good. Like, I don't need to get this, because to me, it was just another expense. Yeah. And I canceled it. Such a dumbass. I canceled it a couple of years ago. It was so cheap, and it was a good policy.
I had the same, not even to get into that, but I've had the same policy since I was 21.
Nice.
So I started very, very young.
I think my mom has a policy on me. I don't have any. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and that's why it's good to know what you have. Well, okay. So that's another subject too, because
it's not through work. It's not through work.
Oh, okay.
It's somebody came in and offered it to us.
Yes. Probably for a discounted a group rate, right?
I don't think so anymore. I don't think so anymore. No, because this was way pre-COVID, and things changed after COVID. And I mean, but I've kept it for so long.
But it's good to know what you have. It's good to know, is it term? Is it IUL? Is it whole life? Is it gaining cash value? Can it expire? Like, there's different questions to ask when you do have a policy. Yeah. Terms are great. Because it's big money for cheap price. And I have a term. Terms are very good, but I also think you should still have another one, which is an IUL or whole life on top of the term. And, like our son, I got 5 IULs on our kids, but not in case they die, but when they live longer, they're able to pull money out from these insurance accounts. And so our son is going to take his test for life insurance. And I told him, he's like, is it going to be hard selling to people his age? I said, honestly, people your age, hopefully they're smart enough to get a policy because they know it's going to gain that cash value when they get older. And that price won't increase because, man, you get some older people trying to get life insurance now and it's high because it's cheaper while you're younger. Yeah. So you got to get it while you're younger. So, yeah.
So the main thing with life insurance is if you don't have any, you need some. And if you have some, you don't know what it is. Because there's a lot of people like, oh, yeah, I got life insurance. And oh, yeah, it gains this and that. But when they pull out their policy, oh, it's a term. It ends after 30 years, 20 years. Because a term policy is exactly what it says. It's for a term of time. It can be 5, 10, 15, 20 years, 30 years. But at that end of that 30 years, if you've survived that 30 years, exactly.
And then it's going to be even more expensive to try to get another one because it expired.
But think what you realize, if you survive your 30 years, all that money that you put into that account or to that life insurance, the life insurance company keeps it because it's term.
Guess what? I'm going to survive that fucking 30 years.
Yeah.
So fuck yeah.
Not okay. I'm not even going to take it there. I'm not going to take it there.
But the thing is, what you got to remember is, okay, life insurance, it's never expensive as it is right now because the older you get, the more expensive it gets. And as you get older, you get more sickly. You get diabetes, you get all these other things as you get older. Mm-hmm. And the more problems you have with you, the harder it is to get life insurance. So the thing is, you get it white, just like you said, you got it at 21. The thing with you, what you want to find out is what do you have? Do you have a term or do you have a whole life? And see what your benefits are, you know? And that's what we do. We help people, we educate them on what life insurance is, what kind they have, what's the best thing to get for them, and what depending on what their needs and wants are. At that time, we help them, we educate them and put them into a policy that's going to be good for them at that time. And then as life changes, as you get married, as you have kids, as you change jobs, all these things are affected by changes in time and life. Your insurance will change as well. It will need to be changed.
Yeah, I had no idea what life insurance was.
And 30% of people don't get approved for life insurance. So to get approved for life insurance is a privilege. It honestly is because it happens. It has happened to us where some people don't get approved for it. So when I tell people and they get approved for it, I tell them,
congratulations.
Congratulations. And make sure you just pay it monthly, because you don't want to miss out on that just because you missed a payment.
Yeah, it's a wild thing to think about dying.
Yeah.
And you're going to be here no more?
Yeah.
The fuck?
But thing is, you're not going to be. And this is the problem we all struggle with because we're here now. We don't think about tomorrow or the next day normally. But thing is, the actual reality is we're all going to pass away at one time or another. Mm-hmm. And it's going to be, sooner than later.
Somebody's going to have to deal with our aftermath.
Mm. Exactly.
I've always said, just burn me with all my shit.
Yeah.
Nobody gets my shit after I die.
Hell yeah, Roy's petty. He's like, nobody gets anything. I just go with it.
Fucking just burn me in a big old pyre of flame and let me go to the afterlife.
On Buffalo Lake.
No.
and even that costs money. Oh. That cremation costs money, and it's in the thousands. So as years go by, the cost for a funeral and a cremation or funeral service, all that goes up with time. So the thing is, what you don't want to do is leave your family holding the bag, or trying to do a GoFundMe or sell this and that just to make ends meet. Just because
you didn't want to make a payment. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to put that on your family. You want them to not only be able to grieve in their time of need, but also get that major part of the way and then have something for them to go from there. That's what life insurance. It's not death insurance. It's life insurance. And you can, with the ones that we offer and we educate people well, is the IULs, which is Index Universal Life, which actually grows money or it basically earns interest, builds money, so you can actually use while you're still alive. If something happens,
use it all, man. Fuck that.
Yeah.
My shit.
So usually, like when people ask us stuff, we don't just give quotes. We like to educate them on everything, because we want people to feel comfortable and feel knowledgeable walking out of that meeting with us instead of, because anyone can give you a quote.
Well, I mean, you got to know where you're putting your money.
Exactly. So, and that's why, and he's more knowledgeable than I am about it. I'm still learning a lot more what he knows, but I know the basics of it. Mm-hmm. And so when we do make ourselves and talk to people about it, it's like you leave, like I had a couple, one had fibrosis of the liver, another one had sleep apnea and something else, sleep apnea. It was something that I can't think of it right now. But anyways, I went through a certain carrier because we do represent 20 different carriers, and the husband got approved. How excited I was about that, because it was hard for him to get insurance anywhere. Mm-hmm. I could not wait to call her and tell her, because I was so excited that he got approved. Like she was at peace, you know, she was excited. I was excited. And it was more than what we thought he was going to get approved for. And that right there showed me, is like, man, it just felt good that you're helping people be at peace, because if something does happen, her family and them are going to be taken care of.
Yeah.
So,
and y'all guys are young. Y'all are in your 20s, which is great. But once you get to my age, like in the 40s, 45, you start assessing your life and say, okay, I'm not made of steel. I'm not going to live forever. And I have kids that are following me. What are they going to do if I pass away tomorrow? Or if I pass away at 65 or 70, they still have to go through this life without me, but maybe I can leave them something. I'm going to leave them something that they can, okay, my dad's gone, but he left us a legacy. He left us a bankroll that we can.
Let me tell you a story. And it's just life insurance. Because I had a good buddy die last year. And I was at his funeral, sad as fuck. And his brother was like, good thing I took out that policy on him so we could pay for the funeral. That's what this does, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
As of, I'm like, as cruel as that sounded to me, I was like, you son of a bitch. Why did you say that right now? Well, I get it, though. That's kind of what it does, though.
It does.
Because it's not cheap, right? It's like $10,000 bucks,
with your
right?
loss, you know?
Yeah. The average funeral is really expensive.
Like the average funeral is about almost $20,000, give or take. Because they charge you for everything. They charge you for the outfit they put on them. Even though you bring them the outfit, they charge them for cremating the body. They charge the body for cleaning the body.
Which is wild, because my uncle's a funeral director, so and they make a living doing that too.
I never, and it's a business, you know. They gotta make their money, business. But like I had a friend that had a loss in one of their other families or whatever, and that person that passed had orders to be cremated, but of course the family wanted to see their loved one because it was unexpected and blah blah blah, and the funeral home was kind of like. And it just, the reality of like, damn, as fucked up as that is, y'all got to make your money too, you know. But they pretty much were like, well, you can see them as they are, but it's not really what you want to see. Yeah. Or we can charge you like $1,000, get them kind of ready, and you can see your person one last time before we cremate them.
Yeah,
it wasn't even the kindness of like your mourning. Let you see your loved one. It was like. For a price, I can make them look like them.
Well, don't forget, I didn't forget what you said, motherfucker.
Yeah,
that shit hurt my feelings.
That reality of like, reality. Damn, they charge, they gotta make their money.
Yeah,
it's not about like empathy.
But that's what like life insurance would cover.
Yeah,
it'll help with.
It would help with that because like you want to. There is just where it's just death benefit where it's like, okay, it's a $10,000. There's you can get stuff like that, but what you want to do is get where you can cover that and then have some left over. Because the way it works is, okay, let's say I got a life insurance policy. I pass away tomorrow. All Destiny has to do is take my insurance policy to the funeral home that she's going to use. They take it and say, okay, he has a $100,000 policy. It's going to be $15,000 to bury him. They cut her a check for the remaining balance, and the funeral home gets their cut first because they're taking care of everything, and she gets a check a week later. Now, in your situation, that sounded kind of fucked up. But it's good he did that.
Coming from me, it sounded fucked up. But I understand the family, because he was not my immediate family, so they had to take. I didn't take care of anything.
That's still a fucked up thing to say.
That was a very fucked up thing to say.
I mean, in hindsight, like, okay, well, good thing he did, so they could pay for it, because if not, we'd all have to be chipping in just to make sure that friend was taken care of and properly buried. You know what I mean? Because what happens? Let's say a homeless guy that's had no family, doesn't have no insurance or anything like that. He passes away. Well, the city has to cover that. Our tax have to cover that. And he might be in that crematorium or that funeral home or whatever for months at a time until there's money to bury him. There's money to put him in a specific place in an unmarked grave. Even that costs money. So, I mean, you know, everything
when you put it like that, that's a cruel.
It's cruel because even though he don't have no family, he's still a human being. He's still a child of God. You know what I mean? So the thing is, you want to treat everybody fine. But the thing is, the best thing you can do is prepare for it and put your family in a good position. that's the best thing you can do.
I didn't know that's what they. Sorry to fixate on that. I didn't know that's what they did with homeless people.
Well, I mean,
or people who.
That's more of a generalization. I'm sure every city has their own ordinance and what they have to do and everything. But I mean, think about it. I mean, we as taxpayers, we have to pay for that. We have to take care of that, or the city has to do it because you can't just leave somebody rotting on the side of the street or in an alley. You have to dispose of the body properly. And, depending on what, the city ordinance is, you have to do something with them. And there's times where people will be in there for months.
Can I say, Jen, after all this, just burn me.
Just burn.
In a big fire. Have a good time. You guys, do you think about death like that? You ever think about that?
Yeah. I
think about it every day too.
I lost my mom. I lost my dad that raised me. I lost my uncle. I lost my stepdad. I lost my grandma. I lost my grandpa. I mean, death has followed. Like it's common for us. So like when we leave out of town and stuff, I make sure I have my policies on the table for my mom. Like if something happens to Jeno and I, she knows where the policies are. She knows what's taken care of. I write a note like, who's the kids are where the kids staying and all that stuff and sign it. I get him to sign it, which really we need to get a trust and will for that because we have 5 kids. So we got to get that in order. But man, we think about it every day because it's not promised. And it's like, man, just this past 2 months, so many people have passed that we know about. Just our neighbor passed away last week. And
older man.
Older
gentleman that, he would come out and walk out every day and he just passed away. We had, I had a coworker.
Yeah.
We were talking about it last night at the dinner. He passed away a year ago last week to COVID, you know? So all these things, it's unexpected, but it happens. It's a reality. I mean, there's a saying, the only thing guaranteed in life is death and taxes. And death is number one. You know what I mean? We're not promised tomorrow. So we have to prepare for something to happen. You know what I mean? And to think that I don't need any life insurance or whatever, even though you don't have kids, you're single, whatever, you still have to have it just so no one is your family, your mother, your friends, whoever is taking care of your final wishes is not struggling to do it. You know what I mean? Because everything we do in life is hard enough as it is. Not to mention everything else, all the bullshit that comes along with passing away and take care of people, somebody's estates and all that. So you just got to be prepared as best you can because we all are going to face death. It's just how are we going to face it, So with us, it's something we wanted to encourage people to educate people what it is, and not just to make money, but also to show how to invest their money, how to let it grow, how to bring it to where they can use it as an investment for themselves, how to use it for their kids' education or whatever the case may be. There are just so many aspects that life insurance covers that we don't know about. Like a quick fact, banks have over 15 billion in life insurance companies because that's where the money's at. That's where they make it. If you remember back in 2008 when we had that big old recession, that crash, they got bailed out, and they got bailed out by life insurance companies because that's where all the money was at. Banks put their money in life insurance companies, and we put our monies into banks because we think it's secure. It's secure, but the money that we put into the banks use it to invest. They make a 12 or 15, 30% profit, and they give us 0.1% because they invested in life insurance policies and life insurance companies as well. So why mess with the banks when you can go straight to the life insurance companies? And nobody knows it because they don't show you this in school. They don't show you this in college. You have to go and be a financial advisor or go to a specific school for life insurance or financial institution to learn about these things because they want these secrets out. Because if we all knew about what life insurance can do for us, we wouldn't have to worry about taxes or anything like that. But how does the U.S. make their money? Taxes. They tax us on everything.
Taxes are illegal. Damn it.
But the thing is, if we knew, if everybody knew about life insurance and how like you fund your own life insurance policy, you can borrow from your own life insurance policy. That's your own money. You don't get taxed on it. If a lot more people knew that, then the banks and the government would be in trouble, and they don't want that because the dumber they keep us,
when we end up dead, then you guys know why. Because the government's gonna fucking kill us. Jesus.
But we got life insurance policies, y'all dumb, so y'all need to get some.
Oh man, I'm not gonna die. I'm gonna live forever. Fuck that. No, I think about death a lot. I think about it almost every day actually.
I have a funeral playlist on my Spotify for my funeral.
Yeah.
My only was just actually I did tell my mom, I was like, can you have a mariachi at my funeral, please?
Oh, that's cool.
Like if you
I need to add that.
Yeah, one at our wedding.
look at that. Look at that first review.
What? So I
The thing about it, it's a part of life that we have to acknowledge and not be afraid of it, but also be prepared for it. And that's something we can do because we're all going to meet that end one time or another. And you can't dwell on it, you know, because like I said, we think about it every day. So do you, but we think about it in different ways. You know, what I'm worried about is not that I'm dying, is like, okay, what's my family do when I'm gone?
Oh yeah.
What am I going to do if Destiny passes away? Destiny says, hey, when I pass away, I want you not to cry. I want you to throw a big party and have all these things. I was like, you know what? If you pass away, I'm throwing the biggest party. That's a joke. But the thing is, it's going to be a fucked up day, you know, but that's just what we got to, you know, prepare for.
We're known for throwing parties, and that's what I want to be left with is a party. Like I want to celebrate the life.
Celebrate life, yeah.
You know?
See, right now, I mean, my uncle, he's barely turning 60 years old, and he's in stage 4 cancer. And he's in, you know, having a hard time, and he's in hospice right now. So unfortunately, it's a reality of life, and it's only a matter of time for him, like it is for all of us. But it's right there. He's at the end of the road, so it's tough just thinking about it. But for him, it's tomorrow, the next day, or the day after that, and his family's dealing with it, and it's tough. But I mean, it's coming for all of us, so we have to do something to protect ourselves and protect our families. And I mean, it's not like
does that help you guys? Does that motivate you guys to go hard every day?
Yeah, for sure.
To see the benefit of it, and also the fallout of it as well. And I mean, it's just, I mean, you can't think straight when somebody passes away. You don't know what to do, and then to imagine just not being able to. Well, how are you going to pay for this? I have no clue. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow. I mean, you're thinking about, okay, what am I going to do with this person not here? Much less, how am I going to pay for the house? How am I going to pay for the car? How am I going to put my kids through school without my significant other there? You know what I mean? She's a huge chunk of our family pie. You know what I mean? You take that out, we're just not even a family anymore. So that aside, now add the financial burden of it. What else? You know what I mean? It's something you want to think about, but it's a part of reality that just comes for all of us that we have to acknowledge, and that we have. It's like it's illegal to drive without car insurance. If you drive and you pull over, you don't have car insurance, you get a ticket, and you have to get car insurance and then pay for the ticket. Right? It's illegal to have car insurance, not to have it, but it's not illegal to have life insurance. Why is that? There's no rational explanation for it, because you have to have life insurance. It's like, it's not something that somebody needs. It's that we all need it. We all have to have it. You know what I mean? Just like water, air, and food, life insurance is right there in our opinion. You know what I mean? So that's what, you know, that pushes us every day. You know, I've been in this business for a number of years. I've stepped away for a little while. She got us back into it, and it's something that we're passionate about, and we want to, you know, I mean, help all of our friends and family with it, to educate them, give them the knowledge and education about it, and then also get them prepared for something to happen, because again, it's something that we all have to deal with at one point or another.
Yeah, man, that's a weird thing to think about. Where can they, if they want to get more information, where can they contact you guys? They can
contact us on Facebook, Messenger, call us at our telephone numbers.
Yeah, and our Facebook is Destiny Flores and Jeno Flores. Jeno with a J, and it's E-N-O Flores. Yeah, so that's the best way. And then, yeah, if they want our numbers, I mean, they can get them through y'all or through messages.
Oh, yeah. I think people,
probably text me, because I'm not big on answering my phone.
Yeah, you're right. I think people, it's like a weird thing to think about.
Yeah.
It's an essential part of life. Yeah. You know. Thank you guys for being here. This was a fun one. I really enjoyed it. Anything else for the people out there? Any final words? Where can they follow you guys if you want them to? Anything?
They can follow us on Facebook, Jeno Flores, Destiny Flores. My Instagram is Jeno Flores. 1523 on Instagram. Destiny is
Fit Flores 13 on Instagram.
And then
So,
the
yeah.
Geno's gym page.
Yeah, Geno's gym page. If you want to come to the gym, you can message us there as well.
It's really fun.
4501 34th.
Yes, 4501 34th. So any support, and we love returning the favor and supporting other businesses as well.
Yeah, and we're big talkers. We talk to people about everything: life insurance, fitness, marriage, relationships, kids. You know, we you know, try to help people out with whatever.
Geno's an amazing advice giver. So if you guys ever do a podcast on that,
we're not quite there yet, but maybe in the future.
No, he's helped a lot of our friends with that advice. Not even just marriage, but just boyfriend and girlfriend advice. Just advice on how we've been together so long, and I've grown a lot. You know, I've grown a lot as a person. I think being in business together has helped us grow, and just our marriage is a strong foundation. So I think that's just, if you guys ever want to do a topic on that, we're there.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, Jen, you got anything else to say?
Fools and Ghouls, October 29th, motherfuckers. Season 3 this year. It's another ode to Cholo Goth. Pull up. 80s, 90s, new wave, goth, dark wave, Cholo Goth, throwbacks. I am curating a very special playlist. Dress code is costume or all black. And it's going to be a good time. I'm going to start promoting that starting tomorrow. This will have already been dropped, whatever. This will be dropped later on.
Yeah, way later on.
But Fools and Ghouls, Fools and Ghouls, Fools and Ghouls. I will not shut up until October 29th.
That sounds fun.
Yeah, y'all
It'll be
have
a lot of
plans
fun.
October 29th.
It's a Halloween party if you guys want to come.
We're there.
Yeah. And there, probably by the time this is dropped, there will be a very, very special season 3 drop for the Fools and Ghouls event as well. So
there you go, people. Lords of Film on Instagram, Pirate Radio.
Lords of Film, Texas Chainsaw Alchemist.
You can follow Pirate Radio on Instagram and Twitter. Snake Pirate, Snake Roy on everything else. We have a new podcast coming out by the time this comes out. Lawn Chair Sports Podcast with me and Swagadelic. Please,
I like that name.
please check that one out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel if you guys are new listeners, or if you haven't already. I don't know what the fuck you're doing, but please do it. You're gonna die one day, people, so fucking get life insurance. All right, man, I'm serious. Like, it's unfortunate, but it's gonna happen. I guess that's what makes life beautiful, right? We'll see you guys next time, and one love, people.
Thank